3 in the gravel track. Maybe he'll have to go for the sneak attack into 15 rather than 16. He's got one more lap to try and find a way through.
You can see the headlines already, can't you? People at home will be thinking, well, are there team orders in here? Is Bastianini just playing the wingman for Bagnia? Don't think he is. No. As Lewis mentioned, there were no team orders. We don't think pre-race. Bastianini was given clear sweep to go through it. Now through turn 3, we are on the final lap here in Motogp Aragon. Will it be Bagnia or will it be Bastianini? We saw this thing between Bagnia and Marquez 1 year ago. What can Enea Bastianini do about Bagnia ahead of him?
Is he going to pull off a sneak attack? Yes, here he goes into 7.
Into 7, he just squeezes Bagnia out towards the paint. Now then, Pekka Bagnia, how much risk will he take for those extra 5 World Championship points? Bastianini then hits the front on the final lap, going into turn number 7. He's sweet now out of the reverse corkscrew. Is Bagnia going to go all in here for those extra 5 World Championship points for a historic 5th win in a row? They now wind up then towards turn number 12. This is one of the last overtaking places on this final lap. I don't think Bagnia's going to be close enough. Can Bastianini get that Brazilian Ducati stop? Yes, he can.
Because it's Bagnia now who needs to try and solve the puzzle. It's him that now needs to try and get the drive out of turn 15 and try and attack into the final corner. Bastianini has sort of struggled to match it for the acceleration, but this time it's Bagnia who needs to try and solve that problem. Just 2 corners to go.
So Bastianini then now, this has been his territory, this has been his domain all weekend. He's had the fastest motorcycle here in Aragon all weekend. I don't think Bagnia is going to be close enough. Enea Bastianini just 2 corners away here from victory in a classic in Motogp Aragon. He gets a bit of a moment on that rear tyre. I don't think Bagnia is going to catch him, or is he? Over the line they come. Is it going to be Bastianini or Bagnia? It's the beast that wins a classic on the last lap again here in Motogp Aragon. He takes it by just 400ths of a second. And Laces Margaro does take 3rd place. That's crucial for his World Championship. 2 weeks ago in Misano. Points clear. German Grand Prix. Bastianini away slowly from second start from pole position. Electric start from Jorge Martin. And now Bastianini away slowly from second on the grid. Marc Marquez a better start to a Grand Prix for Pekka Bagnia than that one he's just made here in Malaysia. 9th to 2nd on the run to that second corner. Stunning from the world champion-elect.
So Quartararo needs to deal with his teammate Frankie Morbidelli early.
Vargo's not really made any progress. He's 20 here in Sepang. Here comes Enea Bastianini. I thought he was going to fire that.
Wins the Grand Prix, and Quartararo is 4th or lower. Bagnia would be champion. Quartararo is still 3rd, and he's got 1.3 seconds in his pocket over Joan Mir, who, as I say, is just past Marc Marquez. Bagnia almost coming to grip there with Bastianini. Ducati will not enjoy.
From Bez, because it's on him now to try and hunt down Fabio Quartararo. If Bagnia does win the Grand Prix, Marco Bezzecchi will be giving a huge helping hand to his...
Like through the first couple of sectors, he's only pulled a few hundredths back on Fabio Quartararo, nothing substantial. And
last lap to Bezzecchi.
And the vast majority of it, as mentioned, is in that 4th sector. That's where Quartararo has kind of helped.
Season finale in 2 weeks' time, but it's all on now Marco Bezzecchi. Can he find a way through on Fabio Quartararo for what potentially would be a title-winning...
Bagnia needs to do is make a mistake. Remember in Le Mans, when Enea Bastianini took the lead from Bagnia, he followed it with 2 very high-profile errors, one of which took him out of the Grand Prix, of course.
Yellow flags are out in sectors 2 and 3. It's not out. What will be the tactics? Will there be team orders? Will there be a couple of weeks to sort of have the pressure festering away? He wants the job done here today. Bastianini, though it is, there's now put sort of 6 or 7 bike lengths between himself and his future teammate. The World Championship at stake here, but pride at stake between these two. Pushing himself and that factory Yamaha beyond the limit, surely, as Bagnia close on Bastianini into turn number 15. There's going to be 8 laps to go here very, very shortly in Malaysia. A gripping and engrossing with Gigi Dall'Igna. This is the prize that Ducati have so desperately craved for 15 long years. Are they going to issue team orders to Enea Bastianini? Will Bastianini 13 and 20 in the books here then in Sepang, and it's still Enea Bastianini with the lead. His rear tyre snakes sideways on the brakes into the first corner. He's pushing.
And that's the last thing Ducati want. Quartararo would then take the World Championship lead, so really Ducati need to nip this in the bud. If they want to let Bagnia through, they can't let this linger. Look how close they're getting.
Yeah, Bagnia almost running to the back of Enea Bastianini there, going through turn 7 and 8, and Bagnia does retake the lead. Brilliant move that. He now still cannot find a way through on the factory Yamaha man. Surely now Enea Bastianini will not retaliate on Pecco Bagnaia.
Yes, so we're now a Motogp overtake away from the World Championship going to Ducati. I'm not sure Bastianini is staying back.
Attention, let's not forget as well, Fabio Quartararo with a broken middle finger on his left hand.
Man, Fabio Quartararo has had 4/10 out of them on this lap as Ducati are trying to match
His ride by the current world champion Fabio Quartararo. Absolutely awesome job by him. He's had to fight the Ducatis, hasn't he, right from that opening Grand Prix in Qatar. Are we going to have a tense final?
Up to 6/10 of a second so far. It's now gone up again in the first half of this lap. So
ability and corner speed of that factory Yamaha as they sweep now through turn number 11. Fabio Quartararo, he's still that 1.6 second gap to Enea Bastianini in second place. Let's just check the margin through sector 3. He has over
a 10th of a second on Bastianini, a 10th and a half on Bagnaia. That's not enough. If he catches them at that rate, he won't get there in time on the final lap of this Grand Prix. But he looks, as Matt said, to have broken Benteke in the battle for third and fourth. Behind them, Alex Rins.
Of course, he's got the far better winning record in 2022.
Well, the best thing Enea Bastianini can do now is just sort of sit around that sort of half-second margin behind Bagnaia, so much so that he's not putting Bagnaia under pressure that he's fearing an overtake, but also protect him.
By his fingernails, third place will be enough to keep the championship going.
At this stage of the Grand Prix, we could see some riders running into tyre troubles. Yellow's routed.
Or has there already been a dashboard message going the way of Enea Bastianini? The mapping 8 or whatever the signal is. Mir has remounted then after his tip-off. I guess that was in the first corner, wasn't it?
His could yet still
his first world champion in 15 years, but it will not be job done. Surely Enea Bastianini is not going to fling that green Ducati on the inside of this now. Enea Bastianini just swarming, harassing and hounding Pecco Bagnaia late on here. They come into the first gear, turn number 9. Hard on the brakes, the pair of them go, they both snake sideways and back.
Hugely significant victory.
Pecco Bagnaia then is on course for victory here in the Malaysian Grand Prix, but the World Championship will wrongers clasp on that Motogp crown this year. He will go to the Ricardo Tomo circuit in Valencia in 2 weeks' time. 23 points clear of Fabio Quartararo in the World Championship.
Ducati will not want to see either of these bikes, particularly the 63, in the gravel track. Maybe he'll have to go for the sneak attack into 15 rather than 16. He's got one more lap to try and find a way through. You can see the headlines already, can't you? People at home will be thinking, well, are there team orders in here? Is Bastianini just playing the wingman for Pecco Bagnaia? Don't think he is. As Lewis mentioned, there were no team orders, we don't think, pre-race. Bastianini was given clear sweep to go for it. Now then through turn 3, we are on the final lap here in Motorland Aragon. Will it be Bagnaia or will it be Bastianini? We saw this thing between Bagnaia and Marquez 1 year ago. What can Enea Bastianini do about Bagnaia ahead of him? Is he going to pull up a sneak attack? Here he goes into 7. Into 7, he just squeezes Bagnaia out towards the paint. Now then, Pecco Bagnaia, how much risk will he take for those extra 5 World Championship points? Bastianini then hits the front on the final lap, going into turn number 7. He's sweet now out of the reverse corkscrew. Is Bagnaia going to go all in here for those extra 5 World Championship points for a historic 5th win in a row? They now wind up then towards turn number 12. This is one of the last overtaking places on this final lap. I don't think Bagnaia's been close enough. Can Bastianini get that Grazini Ducati stop? Yes, he can. Because it's Bagnaia now who needs to try and solve the problem. It's him that now needs to try and get the drive out of turn 15 and try and attack into the final corner. Bastianini has sort of struggled to match it for the acceleration, but this time it's Bagnaia who needs to try and solve that problem. Just 2 corners to go. So Bastianini that now, this has been his territory, this has been his domain all weekend. He's had the fastest motorcycle here in Aragon all weekend, and I don't think Bagnaia is going to be close enough. Enea Bastianini just 2 corners away here from victory in a classic in both the Aragon. He gets a bit of a moat on that rear tyre. I don't think Bagnaia is going to catch him, or is he? Over the line they come. Is it going to be Bastianini or Bagnaia? It's the beast that wins a classic.
classic on the last lap again here in Motorland Aragon. He takes it by just 0.04 of a second. Aleix Espargaro does take third place. That's crucial for his World Championship. 2 weeks ago in Misano, Motorland Aragon. Will it be Bagnia or will it be Bastianini? We saw this thing between Bagnia and Marquez 1 year ago. What can Enea Bastianini do about Bagnia ahead of him?
Is he going to pull off a sneak attack as he is? Here he goes into 7.
Into 7, he just squeezes Bagnia out towards the paint now then. Pekka Bagnia, how much risk will he take for those extra 5 World Championship points? Bastianini that hits the front on the final lap, going into turn number 7. He's sweet now out of the reverse corkscrew. Is Bagnia going to go all in here for those extra 5 World Championship points for a historic 5th win in a row? They now wind up then towards turn number 12. This is one of the last overtaking places on this final lap. I don't think Bagnia's been close enough. Can Bastianini get that Brazilian? Can he stop? Yes, he can.
Of course, it's Bagnia now who needs to try and solve the puzzle. It's him that now needs to try and get the drive out of turn 15 and try and attack into the final corner. Bastianini has suffered and struggled to match it for the acceleration, but this time it's Bagnia who needs to try and solve that problem. Just 2 corners to go.
So Bastianini then now, this has been his territory, this has been his domain all weekend. He's had the fastest motorcycle here in Aragon all weekend, and I don't think Bagnia is going to be close enough. Enea Bastianini just 2 corners away here from victory in a classic in Motorland Aragon. He gets a bit of a moment on that rear tyre. I don't think Bagnia is going to catch him, or is he? Over the line they come. Is it going to be Bastianini or Bagnia? It's the beast that wins a classic on the last lap again here in Motorland Aragon. He takes it by just 4.
A long race weekend comes to a close with the end of the MotoGP race.